Hi, my name is Brian Yin, and I'm a student in the Human-Centered Design Engineering Department. This quarter, I took a class in user research and learned a lot of valuable skills that will prepare me for my future careers. I learned about conducting interviews, surveys, and field studies. Now I will present to you what I've learned from my class and how they can benefit me in the future. In this class, we were assigned to three major projects: an interview survey and a field study report. For each project, we focused on one research question, acquired data, and attempt to answer that question. In the end, we constructed personas based on the data we acquired from these assignments. In my assignment, I conducted 4 interviews and used the acquired data to answer the question, what effects does having a workout partner have on University of Washington undergraduate students? I was able to effectively use interviews to find out that the presence of a workout partner helps participants challenge themselves by doing heavier weights and motivates them to work harder. From conducting interviews on my own, I learned that as an interviewer, we have to be more prepared than we should. For example, always invite more participants, have more consent forms than needed, have a backup plan for everything, and bring some water and food to make the participants feel more comfortable. I learned valuable skills that are vital to the integrity of the data. For example, maintaining the same expression when participants are responding so you won't sway their responses. Ask if the participants want to add additional information at the end and never interrupt or finish the sentence for them. Finally, give them compensation and thank them for their time. I think what benefited me the most from this experience is that I became more comfortable interviewing strangers and asking them follow-up questions on the fly, which can come in handy if I do interviews in the future. I also understood the importance of avoiding leading questions because they may mean flawed data. In our second project, we learned to use surveys to acquire data and answer specific questions. I constructed a survey to answer my research question: do users of sleep cycle alarm clock experience the effects of the application? We used SurveyMonkey, an industry standard tool, to construct our surveys. In doing survey reports, I learned that you always want to send out more surveys than you actually need, because response rate is never going to be 100%, and not all of the surveys are going to provide usable data. My survey turned out to be very successful, and I found out many interesting things about the sleep cycle application. In this project, I learned many important aspects of conducting a survey that I did not previously know. Structure is a crucial part of a successful survey. For example, you want to have your demographic and screening questions at the beginning of the survey so you can easily filter out the surveys that contain unusable data. In addition, I also learned how to use different types of questions, whether it be ranking, rating, open-ended, or multiple choice questions, to obtain specific information I need for my research, and I am well aware of the pros and cons of each type of the question. In my last assignment, I carried on a field study and engaged in the deep hangout style of field observation, in which no direct contact with the participants was allowed. My field observation seeks to answer the question, which scenario out of the three, doing it alone, in a pair, or in a group of three, is the most optimal way for UW students to do bench press. Initially, I thought the deep hangout observation method would be easy because I just need to take notes and observe people. However, it turned out to be the hardest out of the 3 assignments because I had to observe, take notes, and pretend that I'm working out all at the same time. But just like the previous assignments, the first session was the hardest, but as I carried on more sessions, I was able to effectively use this method. And based on the data I acquired from my deep hangout sessions, I found out that doing bench press in pairs is the most efficient way in terms of repetition and weight. Like surveys and interviews, preparation is also crucial for a successful field observation. Have a general idea or a main frame of what you're observing for, so when you're observing, you can simply fill out the results in your frame. For example, I was observing people working out, so I had repetition and weight written on my notes, so I can just fill them out while I was observing them. Lastly, drawing from the data I acquired from the previous 3 assignments, I created personas that can help designers better understand people's workout behaviors at the University of Washington, so they can design products and applications to enhance users' workout experience here. Personas are a crucial part of user experience, and they play a huge role in designing a successful application or product. Therefore, even if I don't work directly with personas in the future, this project would still benefit me by making me more aware of the entire design process and allow me to communicate with user researchers at a deeper level. In addition to these projects, the ethical implications involved in doing surveys, interviews, field studies were important areas that I have become more aware of. As Professor Turns have said, people are always more important than data. And if we had to choose, it would always be the people. In our assignments, we were always reminded to consider the ethical issues that might be involved in our studies. I passed out consent forms and informed my participants the right they had, including the right to decline a question, opt out of the interview at any time, and remain anonymous. In conclusion, I have acquired lifelong skills in the area of interviews, surveys, field studies, personas, and ethics. I've become more capable of talking to strangers, use industry standard tools like SurveyMonkey, understand personas, and most importantly, being more aware of the ethical implications involved. Overall, I have learned many things that can prepare me for my future careers, and if someone asks me what I've done in the field of user research, I am proud to say that I have interviewed, surveyed, and done field observations with a total of more than 38 participants, and I'm well aware of the ethical implications that they may imply. Thank you, Sean and Professor Terms, for an awesome quarter.